And Landon, I think Kevin kind of set you up here. I know that you were looking at Levi in comparison to American Eagle. And so, how is it shaping up in terms of the battle between those two companies?
Yeah, when we take a look at those two, it's pretty interesting. We might have to go against Jenny a little bit on this data, but we compare the purchase
There you
intent, the
go.
90-day moving average, I know, on purchase intent of Levi versus AEO on a year-over-year basis. It's pretty striking, actually. Levi's down about 15%, while American Eagle is up about 36%. And so, they've been kind of battling over the years, both on the uptrend. And again, this is actually not purchase intent for the company overall. This is purchase intent just for the jeans portion of these companies. So when we dove into the social media data, we specifically targeted people talking about jeans to kind of make it a little bit more fair. But you can see that Levi's really fell off around the time of quarantine. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that, as Jenny mentioned, only 5% of their revenue comes from e-commerce last year. So they were not set up to have all their stores closed. And of course, what retailer would be? That's not something you really anticipate. But some companies are much better at direct to consumer and e-commerce, and Levi was not one of them. So this hit them especially hard as they closed all their stores in USA and Europe. I think there's a lot of growth outlook in China, but I don't think it's enough to get rid of investor fears. And so, with the IPO at, I think, $22 last March, and it was around 20 in February, it got cut in half on the COVID concerns, and it's only bounced up to 14. So it has not fully recovered like much of the market. And I think that investors are expecting a really bad number on this quarterly report. And so it's just a question of how low are those expectations, and will Levi's be able to actually outperform? But the stock has been all over the place. I think it was up $1 yesterday with the markets melting up. Kevin, like you talked about, down half $1 today, and it's just been a really wild ride for investors of Levi. But our data is showing really that they're struggling right now. They're falling off. American Eagle's starting to take over a little bit more in the jeans department, but expectations are extremely low. So it's really going to be interesting to see what they report and how that compares to expectations, whether or not they're up or down after hours here.
Yeah, Landon, American Eagle has, a lot of different brands within their American Eagle stores. But Levi's, let's face it, if they don't have jeans, if they don't win the blue jean denim game, what do they have left to win? And the fact that you reported on such a small percentage of their sales are online and so many are in brick and mortar, that is a catastrophic mistake that they made when setting up this company, not understanding where this economy is going. And the coronavirus didn't invent, direct to consumer and e-commerce. They just pushed it further. All they did was speed up the move to e-commerce. So this makes me think that they're in trouble, or they need to find someone with the infrastructure like an Amazon or someone like that to sell their products. Because if they can't do it online, this is what we like to refer to as the long goodbye, guys.
Landon, building on that real quick, if I could, is it because they don't have the infrastructure, or is it because it's a product that people and consumers are more comfortable buying in person? They like to try the jeans on, they like to see how they fit, and they don't really want to go through the process of going through returns. And also, Landon, I'm actually blown away by the fact that American Eagle competes on this front and is actually winning, because, I guess I'm just out of touch in terms of what's popular now in terms of blue jeans. But how much are these companies and this space in a whole affected by the Lululemon movement and the move towards, kind of a more casual jogger style pant in replacement of the jean? Or is the jean still, the blue jean still a staple in the global fashion, let's say?
Yeah, I think that, to your first point, yes, I do think people in general want to try things on before they buy them. But that, I don't think that's just specific to jeans. I think that's all clothing. And there's a lot of clothing makers that are going direct to consumer or going e-commerce. And so I think that to assume that people have to try on jeans before they buy them, which is maybe what Levi's was assuming, is a mistake. And then, of course, you think about people staying home during quarantine. There's not a lot of people that are trying to look their best in jeans. They're buying sweatpants and yoga pants from Lulu, things like that, comfortable stuff. And so maybe that's part of the reason why they dropped so much during quarantine. But American Eagle jeans did not. They were actually up. So I'm not really sure exactly what the reasoning is there, but it's definitely not good for Levi's. And so we're seeing American Eagle do very well here. They're actually, if you look at their total company, their purchase intent is kind of at the high end of their range, doing fairly well, whereas Levi's is, as I said earlier, dropping off pretty badly.
Yeah, and Landon, to Kevin's point too, this is a company that, you think Levi, you associate blue jeans. I know they have other products, but that's their staple. That's the brand. And so if they're losing that battle to a company that, maybe, like I said, I'm just out of touch, but American Eagle does not strike me as, blue jeans as much as like something like Levi does. So I guess the only question I would have as far as LikeFolio and the outlook is, clearly the data is disappointing and you're not excited about this one, but it's sold off significantly from where it became public. It's getting close to, kind of the lows of the range. Is it a value play, or is this a concerning one that maybe you're waiting for a sell-off before you see any value there?
It's tough because I think, when I looked up analyst expectations, it looks like the quarterly estimates on revenue are around half of last quarter, which is insane to me. I think analysts are expecting a really, really bad quarter coming in. So I don't know what it would take to disappoint analysts when their expectations are that low. However, this stock is very volatile. Like I said, dollar yesterday, 60 cents today, and the market maker move is only about $1.20 on this announcement. So I think that it could move quite a bit on earnings, especially compared to the market maker move. Overall, we don't like it going forward. A lot of times I'll say that it's oversold or maybe buy on a dip. For now, I'm staying away from it. And if anything, if it happens to rally on beating very low expectations, I might actually take a bearish position moving forward. I'm not playing the earnings, but that's my outlook as far as the rest of the week, depending on how they react to earnings.